As a teacher, I wanted to be able to see all my students' scores and have it color coded so I could easily see where their weak areas were to where their strengths were. In order to do this, I wanted to create a rubric that showed all scores, easy to see and manage. And then I also wanted my students to be able to see individually where they were. So they could see what I was putting in for their scores and they could see their scores as they were entered in. So I had Tyler Jessup come in and help me create this rubric that is very easy to manage for students and very easy for teachers to manage.
Okay, so to get started, you open up a new sheet and you're going to title this the name of your unit. In this particular case, Brooke named this the narrative writing unit. And then this is really critical. As you build this sheet, you're going to be duplicating this sheet later on, so you want to make sure you have the sheet exactly the way that you would like it. In writing, she is always looking for these particular components, and so we've put those across the top, and she's decided that she wants a total column to get the total number of points. And then later on down at the bottom, we're going to create an average column underneath each of these columns so that we can see what the average score. It would be very quick and easy for Brooke to tell which component is the strongest for the students and which ones need more work. At this point over here, you would insert your students' names. We're going to go ahead and put in student A and student B. It's very important that you also get everything looking exactly the way that you want it to look. So, for example, if we want all of these bolded, it's easier to do it now. We want them centered. Once we have this sheet set up exactly the way we want and we have all of our students entered, we have to then determine the conditional formatting. Now, to conditionally format, all you do is you select the cells that you would like to conditionally format. In this particular case, because we grade at a different number, the overall lead, transition, ending, and organization, then we do elaboration, craft, and spelling. We're going to select those, and then we're going to hold the command key and then select the spelling and punctuation columns as well. We've highlighted all of the cells that we would like to change colors when we input a specific number. Then we're going to go to the Format button and come down to Conditional Formatting. It'll open up this window on the side. We're going to have a lot of different options over here, so we're going to have to be thoughtful about what we select. In this particular case, we would like, if the students received a score from 0 to 1.5, we want it to turn red. We want that to notify us the students are struggling with that particular component. So we're going to select less than or equal to, and we're going to put in 1.5. From here, we're going to pull down this menu right here and select the red button. When we click at this point, we're going to just add another rule. And let's say our students earn between 2 and 2.5. We're going to select the option is between. Change the values and put 2 in that first box and 2.5 in the second box. And we're going to designate this as a yellow. We'll add our third rule, and we're going to keep the is between, and we'll go from 3 to 3.5. In this case, we will designate this as green or proficient. And finally, we'll add our last rule. we're going to put, in this particular case, text contains, and we're going to put the number 4, which is the highest score that a student can receive. We're out of colors in this formatting style, so we're going to come down here to this paint bucket, select this, and we're going to go with a blue, maybe a slightly lighter one than that, to let us know that they are advanced. When we click done here, our rules that we've just, conditional formatting rules that we've just created, show up right here. If we were to come over here now and enter a score for this student, and let's enter 1.5 to test this, this should show up red, and it does. If we entered 0, it still should show up red. Okay. If we were to enter 2.5, it should show up as yellow, and it does. We're going to test it with 3. It should show up as green, okay, or 4. It should show up as blue. And that should be the case on all of these that we have selected. Now, if you notice, if we put in a score that's not recognized, such as 5, it doesn't change a color. Or it won't change anything if we put a 2 in elaboration or craft, because we did not highlight those boxes to receive conditional formatting. If you come back to our original example, you'll notice that this is how Brooke has set it up for conditional formatting, and these are her rules, the exact same rules that we just put in. If you notice, when she gets to craft, elaboration and craft, she has changed the values to match the scoring on the rubric that she has for her writing score. So while a 3 over here would designate a green marking, on elaboration, 3 is a fairly low score, so it receives a red marking. Okay, on the total column, we changed our values once again because the students were going to have higher numbers. Here, we determined that if the value is less than or equal to 16.5, that it was going to be a red. Now, we got this number from a little chart at the bottom of our rubric that helped us correlate between the number of points received and the scaled score. If the value was between 17 and 27.5, they receive a yellow marking, between 28 and 38.5, a green marking, and greater than or equal to 39, they received a blue marking. Okay, now I would like to show you how to write the formula so that this total is automatically calculated by the numbers that you insert for each of these categories. Putting the highlighting the cell right where you would like this formula to go, I will come up here to next to this FX, and I will type the equal sign, the word sum, an open parenthesis, and at this point, I'm going to select, make sure my cursor's in the right spot. I'm going to select this cell and I'm going to drag it across to this cell so that it captures B3 through J3. Then I'm going to close the parenthesis and press return. You'll notice that it's got a 0 because there are no numbers in these cells. Now, I don't need to do that every single time. Once I've got that formula created in this first one, I can hover over this little box in the bottom left right-hand corner and drag this down as many rows as I need to.